Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambeau channel, and the XRP price keeps on a-climbing. And do you know what the rich people in the world are doing? They're buying right now. They're buying all sorts of crypto. So I was curious, what are you doing? Seriously, I'm curious. Drop a comment below. What are you doing? Are you buying? Are you selling? Are you holding? Does the data that we're endlessly acquiring in the crypto sphere influence you to any degree? Because I'll tell you what, I'm going to share with you specifics. There's a couple articles here, and this will be towards the later part of the video, but there's an article here from the Daily Hodl talking about cryptocurrency exchange Kraken and the data that they've acquired. And also there's this article from Daily Hodl talking about data from Santiment. And I'll just tell you in a nutshell, I'll get to the specifics towards the end of the video, but I'll tell you right here at the outset, it's rich people buying a lot of cryptocurrency from your stereotypical retail speculator that has been panic selling. The data just, it's on the verge of irrefutable, right? Like this is what's happening, or is it just outright irrefutable? Whatever you want to classify it, this is what's happening. This is crystal clear right now. This is a time to be excited, because despite the fact that the stereotypical retail speculator of the last couple months has said it is the end of the world, the sky is falling, we're going into, no, we're in a bear market. That's what I was told. There's a small percentage of you out there listening that have told me how wrong I have been about the opportunity for XRP and Bitcoin to go up. No. We are officially in the last couple months at the beginning of a multi-year bear market. Well, does anybody think that now? I sure as hell don't think so. But look, I want to be clear at the outset. I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who likes to make YouTube videos about crypto stuff all up on the internets, but just as a fun hobby. As I record this, XRP is at 81 cents. Woo woo! Bitcoin $44,352. Market cap for the asset class $1.83 trillion, and Bitcoin dominance at 45.59%. Oh, and by the way, I haven't talked about the Spark token in a while, in terms of the price action. The Spark token IOU is at 89 cents, so it's been down a bit. But you're talking about supremely illiquid markets, barely, I believe it's, as far as I know anyway, two cryptocurrency exchanges on the planet trading the IOU. And so not surprising to see extreme volatility, but even just the fact that it's sitting there, it still makes you wonder, once this thing is launched, what is that going to look like? And now here is the 24-hour price chart for XRP. And again, it's just been climbing. In fact, the highest it's been within the last 24 hours, 83.5 cents. And that's actually the highest it's been in months, to be honest with you here. And so how's the market feeling in general? How about that crypto fear and greed index? Well, yesterday it was at 69 on a scale of 0 to 100. Which indicated greed, and now people are getting even more greedy today. Isn't that something? Now that there's less opportunity than there was over most of the last couple months because people have bid up the prices again, now that there's validation, people are getting greedy again. Now it's at 74 out of 100. Well, how about that? Isn't that something? Take a look at this tweet from Credible Crypto on May 28th. Credible Crypto said, "If you think the bull run is over, you're not going to make it, fam." And then he's got a little shrug shoulder guy emoji right there. True words. True words. I'm pretty sure I shared that tweet back after he tweeted it on May 28th. And then somebody named Bill retweeted that and tagged me along with chart analyst Credible Crypto and wrote, "Always good to revisit the classics." So thank you very much, Bill. I do appreciate the reminder. And isn't it funny to look back on all of this now that we see clearly things are moving to the upside? And by the way, it won't go up forever. In fact, I'm going to share with you opinions from a couple analysts that think we're going to see some downward price action sooner than later. But that's only because nothing goes up in a straight line forever. It doesn't mean we're in a damn bear market. But who knows? Maybe some of the barrels will come back out of hibernation to make a very brief appearance before we continue back upwards again, assuming this actually does happen. Here's a tweet from somebody named Mr. Coiner, and he's talking about a cryptocurrency called HBAR. And the reason I want to highlight this is it's just a perfect illustration of how human emotion plays into the decision-making process rather than focusing on data and facts. And so I'm not saying this to like make fun of this individual, because we've all been there, right? We've all felt emotions about stuff that we've invested in, specifically crypto assets. It just makes you normal. But the reason I want to highlight is because it's a good learning opportunity. Because again, nobody's perfect. We've all done this. But whatever cryptocurrency like people hold, there's going to be a certain percentage of holders of any cryptocurrency that feel like they're the ones missing out as other coins take off, and it feels like it's in your face because everybody on social media is talking about it. And there are all sorts of people within the XRP community that have been saying stuff like that for on and off for, well, frankly, the entirety of the existence of XRP. That's the truth of the matter. But I've been in this space since November of 2017, and I've seen it on and off the whole time. Especially when markets start heating up to any degree. If XRP is not also moving with other things that are in the limelight at the moment, oh my gosh, what's up with this XRP thing? What, is there something wrong? Oh my gosh, it's never going to go anywhere. I was like, hold on. I was like, slow down. There is plenty of data to indicate the entire asset class moves together. It's hard to pick something that's not going to go parabolic, frankly, assuming people behave this market cycle the same as they did last market cycle. And I personally suspect they will. We'll see if that ends up coming to pass. But it looks to me like humans are behaving about the same. But here's what Mr. Coiner tweeted out. And he tagged Credible Crypto. He wrote, "Dude, H-bar doesn't seem to do anything. While all other coins fly with Bitcoin, ours just keeps counting. I would expect at least 33 cents. A coin should not stay in condensation that long." He means consolidation, but he wrote condensation, but that's okay. And as far as how long it should stay in consolidation, however long the market dictates. What do you mean shouldn't stay there that long? And by the way, I think I didn't check H-bar before recording this, but I checked it a couple days ago. I think it's like 21 cents, and he's saying that he would expect at least 33 cents. So this is rather subjective stuff. He's expecting 33 cents. Reality is it's probably, I'm guessing, around 20 cents or so. So subjectively he wants that, and then he also says that he was trying to communicate that it shouldn't be in consolidation as long. He's subjectively feeling this based on reasons, but this is what humans do, and this is why I'm saying it's a learning opportunity. This isn't just, it's not to pick on him, I promise. Like, everyone has done this. We've all felt like this, right, if we're being real and honest with ourselves. But it doesn't make sense to if you arm yourself with data. The whole market moves in tandem. People say this about XRP, and the truth of the matter is, so he subjectively also feels like, my coin H-bar, it's the only one that's not going up. But the truth is, most cryptocurrencies, although, yeah, fine, they've been rising a little bit as Bitcoin's been leading the market for most of the last year, there's only been a handful of coins that have truly gone parabolic. You could argue Bitcoin, certainly. I think Ethereum Classic, would be fair to say. There's just a few I'm talking about. Dogecoin. So there's just a few off the top of my head, but there are over 8,000 cryptocurrencies. Most of them have not. And so all I can say is, to me, in my humble opinion, it makes sense to just be patient. And Credible Crypto knows that. And so he simply wrote in response, "Patience. The longer the consolidation, the greater the expansion." And Mr. Coiner wrote back and said, "I've been waiting for a long time. More than 3 months. Thanks for your answer." 3 months. Look, that's, like, I've said this before, but it's like, I've been in this space since November of 2017, and I've never sold a single XRP. Can you imagine if I were on the same emotional plane as Mr. Coiner? How would I have made it over 3.5 years? Because if you look at the XRP chart, look at all of the ups and downs. I've survived all of them. And it doesn't mean that I didn't feel any emotion in the earlier portion of that. I admit I did feel emotion. Luckily, I didn't act on it and I didn't sell, but I did feel some negative emotion when price would go down, and I don't anymore. But I'm human too. All this to say, like, if you just make yourself aware of these human shortcomings that we all have, you're going to have a much better time in crypto. But most people aren't capable of doing that, and they're the people that are driving price. And so, yes, I jokingly call all the people that behave in this way useful idiots. I jokingly call them that. But the truth of the matter is, like, you don't have to behave like the herd. And the people that behave like the herd and emotionally buy and sell, they're the ones that get in trouble. So I love highlighting stuff like this because I think it's a good opportunity to learn. I promise I'm not trying to be mean or pick on the guy. I'm acknowledging, look, I felt the emotions. I'm sympathetic. He's feeling the emotions. You're listening to this. You're human too. You felt the emotions, but we can do better, I say. Here's a couple tweets from chart analyst Kaleo, who wrote on July 17th, LOL, the bull run isn't over. And then today, August 7th, Kaleo wrote, some of you still in disbelief. And so what he's referenced there is the Wall Street cheat sheet. And I haven't highlighted this in a really long time. So if you care to look at your screen, you can see what I'm talking about. But this is the Wall Street cheat sheet, psychology of a market cycle. And so this is a chart not of anything specifically, but it just shows the general phases that humans go through when they're participating in the market. It's just an emotional roller coaster ride, starting with hope. Or actually, maybe you should argue maybe disbelief, right? Disbelief. This rally will fail like all the others. Then there's hope. Ooh, as price goes up, a recovery is possible. Then it goes higher, and then they feel optimistic. This rally is real. And then you feel belief. Time to get fully invested. And then there's thrill. I will buy more on margin. Gotta tell everyone to buy. And then at the top, euphoria. I am a genius. We're all going to be rich. But that's the moment when things start to flip. When there's extreme greed, that's actually when you should be fearful. You feel euphoric. Everything's great. Could not be better. Never gonna stop. That's the moment where maybe it's time to rethink, possibly tap the brakes a little bit. But that's not what the typical retail investor does. And this is true of the stock market and crypto. It's the same human psychology that plays into both markets for sure. And so what happens after euphoria? The market tanks. And maybe it comes up a little bit, but then you experience complacency and just this idea, we just need to cool off for the next rally. But then it tanks further and further, and then people feel anxiety. Why am I getting margin calls? This dip is taking longer than expected. And then there's denial. My investments are with great companies. They will come back. And then panic. Everyone is selling. I need to get out. And then anger. Who shorted the market? Why did the government allow this to happen? And then you see that there's a long phase of downwards/sideways trading, and then people just enter depression. My retirement is lost. How can we pay for all this new stuff? I am an idiot. But nothing stays in greed forever, and nothing stays in extreme fear forever. So down here, when people are feeling depressed about the market, and it goes on potentially in the case of crypto, a bear market's going for years, but inevitably money does start coming back in. And then as it starts to go up, what do people feel again? Disbelief. This is a sucker's rally. And that's exactly what Kaleo is talking about. This is a sucker's rally, except it's not. Even if we see in the coming days some downward price action, this is not a sucker's rally. It's just the case that nothing goes up in a straight line forever. That's my opinion anyway. I'm convinced that that is what's probable. And no, I don't know for sure. Yes, I acknowledge that I could be wrong and we could see this all go into a bear market. I just don't think the probability of that is high at all. I think it's very, very, very low. I don't even know if I've given it a 5% chance. It's exceedingly low, the odds of us actually entering a bear market before seeing a final leg up with Bitcoin and the crypto asset class. I just don't see it happening. I really don't. For a number of reasons I've been articulating, which I'm not going to get into in this particular Moon Nambo hot jam. But this is how humans behave, and it's silly. It's silly. It's emotion. So rather than the logic... So here's what you can do. You can recognize humans behave like this, and you can be part of that herd if you want, or you could just... not. And so that's what I do. I just choose not to. I go against the grain. And all I have to do to go against the grain is precisely nothing. I do nothing. I've bought crypto and now I'm just holding it. I've got my bags are packed. I'm good to go. I am super duper good to go. Now in the short term, we might see some downward price action. Here is a tweet from chart analyst Michael Vandepop. In a sense, market psychology is one of the most beautiful things out there. Just like a ton of late shorters got squeezed at $29,000, talking about Bitcoin, of course, late longers are most likely going to experience the same here for Ethereum and Bitcoin. Nothing goes up in a straight line. Truer words have never been spoken. And Leb Crypto seems to share the same sentiment. He writes, do not get greedy at these levels. Even if it pushes a bit higher, you'll thank me later. And he has indicated that he does think that this is a major resistance area, and for people that are actually trading, taking profits, he says would be smart here. That's his opinion. Now, me, I'm not a trader, so I just think it's fascinating to like follow the day-to-day stuff. It is interesting. I don't take actions on it, and I think for anybody out there, hopefully most of you aren't traders. Just based on the data, you're losing money if you are. So if you want to try and even if you're not a trader, just trying to time buys and sells from here, like here and there. Even if you've had some success, data says that you're going to fail. You will. That's what the odds are against you. Just be aware of that. So do whatever you want, but it's bad. So. Like for me, the reason I still like highlighting this, and I think it's very useful for all of us to stay in touch with like what's going on a regular basis, is because like I've said many times, the greatest impediment to people attaining life-changing wealth in crypto is themselves, because it's just because we're all humans and you feel the emotions and it can cause you to make stupid financial decisions. But if you're aware of potential outcomes and you understand how humans behave in the market, then you're much less likely, even if you do feel emotions, to act on them, which is good. So you can do whatever you want. I'm just saying, whatever your action is, that's fine. Make your own call, but just make sure it's not based on emotion. Just make sure it's based on logic and data. That makes a whole lot more sense. And but XRP, my gosh, the best days are yet ahead. I firmly believe this. Again, as I record this, over 81 cents. And there were people screaming a year ago as XRP was whatever it was, down to the 20-something cent region for what seemed like infinity at the time. For those of you that were around, you will recall, it just seemed like it was stuck down there forever. And there were all sorts of people crying out in my videos and other XRP YouTubers, XRP, it's going to zero, it's never going to go higher. There's no chance. It's stuck down here. It would have gone up by now if it was going to. And all those people screaming that, if they could have seen the future, that by April of this year, it ran up to about $2. And fine, it's lower now, but the whole market went down. There was, there's a bunch of profit taking. Nothing goes up in a straight line forever. And so I just think when we see this final leg up, XRP specifically, my gosh, I firmly believe at some point it will hit its all-time high and enter a new realm of price discovery and be worth substantially more than it is today. That is what I suspect. I strongly suspect that to be the case. Now there's this from the Daily Hodl. Will Bitcoin do better in August than in July? Here's what history says according to Kraken Intelligence. Now, I don't want to read the whole article, but I did want to highlight what the rich people are out there doing, the whales. And it reads as follows. The crypto exchange also includes, they're talking about Kraken, of course, the crypto exchange also includes whale activity in its report. Kraken says that the cohort of whales who hold 1,000 Bitcoin or more began accumulating Bitcoin again in July after dropping 30,000 Bitcoin in June. Do you see what has happened? It's the same thing that I've been telling, as we were living through it over the last couple months. Those of you that have been following my channel and watching the videos I make where I do talk about price, this is what I've been talking about. That there were people that were taking profit, they were selling, and then as time passed, we saw that there was sufficient data to indicate that the rich people, the whales out there, were buying from the fearful retail speculators that don't know what the hell they're doing, just making emotional selling decisions. And here you go. Now they accumulated on the cheap and the price is rallying up. And the retail speculators, now that they're feeling validated again, they're starting to jump back in. This is just how humans behave. I know it's stupid, but this is how humans behave. They've been doing it in the stock market. It's been recorded for over 100 years. And they've been doing it in crypto now. And it's been recorded for 12 years roughly. The entirety of the existence of the crypto asset class, about 12 years. They just keep doing it. It's not going to stop. Okay? The emotions are too strong for these people. It's like most people don't even know the stuff that I'm telling you here, but even the ones that do, like there's still the issue of managing your emotions. And how do you become confident enough to control your emotions? Well, for me, the answer is just arm yourself with knowledge and understand how the ecosystem works. Understand why, like how crypto works. And I understand that's a very complex thing. I don't pretend to know everything, but just in terms of like where the market's going, like where is the utility, like even just understanding something like that, if you're a long-term investor, I think things like that ultimately will matter, even though, yes, of course, I acknowledge today that the market's just moving in tandem, but it's not always going to be like that. Of course utility is going to matter. You saw this with the dot-com boom and bust. Money flowed into everything that was a dot-com, and then the bubble burst, and then money just flowed into those companies that actually made sense, that were internet based. And so you're going to see the same thing here. Like we've seen this movie before. It's just instead of talking about .coms, we're seeing it unfold with cryptocurrencies. And it's taking longer. Yes, I think anyway. But that's because it's not clear. It's even less clear here which cryptocurrencies deserve to be here out of the over 8,000 that exist. And then there was this from the Daily Hodl. Bitcoin whales suddenly move $1.7 billion in Bitcoin. Santiment says holdings of crypto millionaires near all-time high. Well, how about that? Bitcoin whales are moving massive amounts of Bitcoin as the leading crypto asset prints a new 30-day high at $43,271. Blockchain tracker Whale Alert spotted 4 large Bitcoin transactions in which crypto whales relocated 41,671 Bitcoin worth $1.78 billion in a span of 1 hour. As Bitcoin and other crypto markets recover from the May 2021 downturn, crypto analytics firm Santiment says that whales continue to increase their Bitcoin holdings. Are you hearing this? Pay attention to this. Check this out. According to Santiment, the percentage of Bitcoin ownership among the millionaire tier cohort, or investors holding between 100 and 10,000 Bitcoin, has risen sharply since June, allowing the deep-pocketed investors to accumulate nearly half of Bitcoin's total supply. So look, you've got Kraken saying it, and you've got specifically from this article, you can see Santiment in their own words. I'm not going to read all the quotes. They're on your screen. One of them is anyway. But this is what is happening. And so think about all of the emotions all the people have been feeling that led to all of the panic selling, and then the people that are in the know that have armed themselves with knowledge, they're not feeling those emotions, and they're behaving exactly opposite of that. And this is, again, there's 100 years of data of this behavior in the stock market. There's 12 years of data with this in crypto, and we think it's going to be different all of a sudden? No. It's the same damn human DNA the whole damn time. Of course. And so just arm yourself with knowledge. But that's why I'm so excited for the future. Like in terms of XRP, it is dirt cheap right now compared to where I think it's going to be by the time this cycle's over. Again, 81.6 cents at the time I'm recording this. My gosh. Think about it. Even if it just gets up to where Ethereum is in terms of market cap, you're looking at over $7 XRP. Because Ethereum's market cap, $363 billion. It's now worth over $3,105 each. XRP's market cap, $37 billion. That's it. $37 billion versus Ethereum's $363 billion. You don't think XRP's ever going to hit that market cap? You lost your goddamn mind. That's just, like, I think it's going to. I don't pretend to know when. And I always acknowledge I could be wrong, which is why I'm very clear. Like, I'm not making price predictions. I'm just telling you what I suspect to be likely based on the data that I have accumulated myself to this point. But let me know what you think below. I love diversity of thought. You know that about me. I am not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.